ನಿನ್ನ ಕನಸಲ್ಲೈ ನಾ ಬಂದು ಕೈ ಹಿಡಿವೆ ಈಗ.
Just movie, PRAduh, Mr. Vikas. Welcome to Studio Vikas.
Thank you, Rashmi.
What are you doing today?
I'm doing good. For those people who don't know, Rashmi, we both have studied together in engineering, and I think you will probably help me during the interview process.
You always yes in the interviews.
Always nice to
First
see you,
of all,
Rashmi.
I would like to congratulate you on an amazing movie.
Thank you.
So your direction has truly made a mark.
Thank
so
you.
It's a remarkable job.
Thank you. Nice to hear that.
Congratulations.
Nice to hear that. Thank you.
Why did you go for PRAduh, not a new movie?
That's a very interesting question, right? So one fine day, while I was shopping for my groceries, my lead actress Shruti Bekal, she called up and said, "Hey, because what are we doing? The TKSFF is coming out with a new 2.0. So are we registering? What are we doing?" I had not thought about any story at all up until that point because we were so busy with my job and other things. So she said, "Because we should do PRAduh, and we are not a big brand like KGF or anything to do KGF 1 and 2. That's what I told her. So she said, no, people would be interested in it to know what happened to the lead character of the story. We should not leave it right there. So let's not go for a new movie. Let's do PRAduh itself." So I did listen to her, but still I wrote two stories. One was PRAduh, and I wrote another story as well on the current education system of US. I called my cast for a table read. So on the first table read, when I read them PRAduh, they didn't want to hear my second story at all. So they said, "No, let's go with PRAduh." They kind of like the flashiness of it. They like their characters, and they like the ending. So we had a couple of endings. So that was the reason. Otherwise, in a short movie, I don't think so. Nobody has come up with two, right? I mean, you don't hear any twos
this is the
in
first
a
time.
short movie, right? Yeah. So I did not know how the audience would kind of take it because some people might have seen PRAduh 1, some people might not have seen PRAduh 1. How do we do a recap and then show?
That's great. What was your reference for the storyline? Were you inspired any movie or any previous story?
Yes, I mean, to write any story, absolutely we need to be either inspired by books or by movies or the current events, whatever we read in the newspapers, right? So I actually read one of the storylines. This was a fictional story where the person who is interviewing, this was the opposite. There would be a female investigator who falls in love with a male suspect, basically because he looks good and etc. So that was one of the storybooks that I had read when I was growing up. So I was like, why not use this for PRAduh as well? That was one of the concepts, but I don't know how people would kind of like it because this is like a Kannada section that I am showing for. That was a Hollywood movie. Very recently, Netflix, if people have watched, there is a docu-series called Jailbreak, where the person who handles the inmates falls in love with the inmate itself, actually. So it has happened in real life as well. But then again, we kind of wanted to just be bold. And because these are 5 rich Sugarland housewives, they are rich, they look good, they are bold. So you know what? Let's take a chance and show that okay, she falls in love with the investigator, and obviously investigator is a 40-year-old person who has low self-esteem. So she looks at a nice lady and falls in love. So that was basically the context of it, actually.
Very nice. It's very interesting. Can you play a song from this movie?
Yes, for sure. I have received a message online, Vikas, and it is one of our own Kannada friend, and he says the storyline is too good.
Oh, thank you.
So,
Thanks to that Kannada friend.
I cannot mention the name,
I know.
so I'm just letting you know. But thank you so much for reaching out and encouraging our director Vikas.
Thank you so much.
So let me go ahead and play this.
Absolutely, we love the song. I would actually give the credit to Ritwik, who was our music director, who is in Bangalore. Hope he's listening, and if he's not, I will definitely convey it to him that you guys all like the song. He's a very talented guy. I'm sure he's going to be big in movies. He's a professional. So yeah, I mean, I was very happy with his music. I just learned the lyrics.
That's nice. How do you select the cast in this movie?
So once we had PRAduh, obviously the PRAduh girls walked in, right? So because we had to have the same PRAduh girls as the cast, but obviously post COVID everybody got busy, everybody had jobs, everybody was traveling, so it was a challenge to get their dates. But then again, we were very happy that the same 5 girls, PRAduh girls, walked in. So we needed an investigator and an assistant investigator. So always an investigator comes with an assistant investigator. If you have seen Sherlock Holmes, there is always a Dr. Watson who always comes in, right? So we wanted that. And the assistant investigator character also, we wanted a very strong character over there, because the main investigator is falling in love. So he's not in his senses to take on this case. So we wanted an assistant who's kind of watching him and etc. So we had Harish, whom we know through the drama and the movie. I mean, he has done various dramas, and this was his first movie. And when I reached out to him, he was very kind enough to say yes. Then I reached out to Jyotsna Kudrataya, who was actually part of another movie in TKSFF 1.0. I had seen her work and I was very impressed, so I called her on, and she said yes on the first go. When they came and they read their stories, they are named as RCB, which is based on our Royal Challengers Bangalore team. So it's Ramohalli, Chandrasekhar Bhatt and Chandrika Bhatt. Basically, that's why we call them RCB. So they have some hilarious lines as well. So yeah, these form the main cast. We have a couple of cops who actually are local to Houston, and there is one sheriff who is again local to Houston. They are not actors, but then again, my assistant director Siddharth Shetty, they work with him very closely. So they came on board, and on the first go itself, they learned their lines and they did a beautiful job. So we just wanted the cops to look the local cops actually. So that worked out nice for us, and they came in and they delivered the lines. So all in all, the cast delivered a perfect punch. I didn't have any issues with their lines or their the workshops and etc. Actually.
That's great. But any challenges that you faced during shooting?
There were definitely challenges, right? Because all of my shooting was outdoor. We had it in a cafe. We had it in a runway, which is an airport runway. Then we had it in a discotheque. So the introduction of these girls happens at a discotheque, which was Bob's Lounge. So all of my shooting happened outside. Only the interview scene, which is like 2 minutes, happened inside my house. So whenever it is an outside shoot, especially the voice and the dialogues becomes extremely important for us because we were recording the voice on the location, on the set, rather than we are not using the sound mixers, or we are not dubbing the sound later on. We didn't have that much of time, so we had to be extremely careful about the background noise and the retakes and etc. That was the main challenge, but otherwise we had an amazing technical team. We used professionals this time. So we had Vimal, who is into Malayalam movie industry, and we had Ritvik, who is the music director. We had Kiran, who was the professional editor. So having a professional team, what happens is they give us all the right ideas to make sure that the movie quality comes out good, and the sound comes out nice, and the background music. And if you have heard the song. So yeah, there is a professional attitude to the movie and the movie making, and we wanted to be that because it's a competition. We just did not want to go into a competition without proper preparation actually. So I'm glad that we were able to get these professionals, and they did a good job.
That's great. It was nice talking to you, Vikas. Wishing you all the very best in your future projects.
Thank you, Rashmi. Always nice to see you again and again. And thanks, Anjana. Always nice to see you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.